Well, the Shelter and Housing Justice Network is holding a news conference at City Hall to call for more help for those experiencing homelessness. Let's take you there live.
Ongoing and worsening crisis of the housing system and the breakdown of the shelter system. Our alternative to the city's winter plan outlines the state of this crisis and highlights 5 key areas of action for City Council to effectively intervene in the housing and homelessness emergency, which are to expand capacity for access to safe indoor spaces, to ensure dignified and humane city responses to actually promote survival for people in encampments, to intervene in the financialization of housing, and finally to implement measures that work to increase housing security and stability. So we have Lynn here with us, who's been a longtime resident over at Allen Gardens and is also a member of the Toronto Underhoused and Homeless Union. And the Homeless Union is comprised of folks that are currently unhoused, those with lived experiences of houselessness, those with people in precarious housing situations, as well as allies. Collectively, they're dedicated to making sure that housing is accessible and that their voices are heard and honored within decision-making spaces that affect them the most. I wanted to make space for Lynn to speak on her experiences of living in the Allen Gardens encampment, especially during the winter. So I was wondering if you could tell us a little... So I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about how long you've lived at Allen Gardens and speak to the experiences that you've had during the winter months.
I've lived in Allen Gardens for 2 years and a month. The winter time is a hard time for people. I've gone through frostbite, and I know other people that have gone through frostbite in the winter time. Sometimes the food isn't there in the winter, and it's hard to get sleeping bags and tents. But it's been a hard experience.
Mm-hmm. And I know that you mentioned a little while ago that you experienced some frostbite. What was that like?
Frostbite's very painful. I still go through it. Like, it could be summertime and my fingers will be white from frostbite. This year so far, like, I've had frostbite most of this month. And it's tingly and it burns and it's hard to live with.
And when you've engaged with the street outreach workers, Streets to Homes, and folks that come through the encampments, what has their response been like in supporting the encampment residents?
Right now, for Allen Gardens, they have a project going on where they're trying to get everybody in Allen Gardens housed. Mm-hmm. I've been housed recently, mm-hmm. and Streets to Homes has done. They're doing pretty good at housing the people that are there now and have been there.
Can you speak to a little bit about what made the living in the encampment difficult and hard, whether it's from the city or the dynamics within the encampments?
The city likes to take tents. Anybody like that hasn't been there for a certain amount of time, after that time, now they are making the tents, they're taking the tents away. They're giving 24 hours to offer them shelters or a hotel, and if they don't, then their tents go.
And I guess just to wrap up, what can you say about what the encampment residents are asking for right now? Like, what do they need from the city?
I believe some of them need shelters and hotels, a place to be warm. Housing's a big thing. They need a place to be indoors, to be safe and warm.
And to be treated like humans.
Yes, be treated with respect, kindness, and treated like humans, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So next we have Gaetan.
Well, we've been listening to a press conference down at City Hall. The Shelter and Housing Justice Network, they are holding a news conference to call for more help for those people who are experiencing homelessness.